I have to tell you that this wasn't me that requested this done. I have to tell you that my son kind of put somebody else up to it, and then they asked me to share my story, and of course I told my son, and my sons and my daughter went out as they were growing up this story. But as I was growing up, I had the privilege of having a wonderful father. In fact, my father for many, many years was my best friend. And the reason why he was is because he did the things I loved to do. He was a baseball player, you know, just in the local teams there, and I loved baseball, and I grew up loving baseball and playing it later. But he also was an outdoorsman. He loved to go into the mountains hunting and fishing, and he turned out to be a real good fly fisherman. And of course, he taught my brother and I as we were growing up. My brother was younger, 3 years younger, and but we traveled up kind of north of Utah up into Yellowstone National Park and up that way, and we go that way fishing. We take a travel trailer and stay in the trailer and fish different streams up there. Some of you might have seen the movie A River Runs Through It, and it was a fishing movie kind of, and we fished that river on many occasions because it was a fly fishing area. We fished the Yellowstone River coming in, run through Yellowstone. Then we went down on this, where this incident occurred, was on the Madison River. It's right north out of West Yellowstone going into Montana, and it runs into the Hebgen Dam, and then from the bottom of the reservoir or big lake is where they release the water, and it runs into the Madison and down into Ennis, Montana. But it was a noted fly fishing stream, and we'd go up there and park our trailer, and we'd fish there for 2 or 3 days or however long we liked to stay. But this one day I was out in the river, and we were dry fly fishing, and I don't know whether you know the difference between dry fly fishing and just fly fishing, but the dry fly fishing, you kind of fish upstream and you float your fly on top of the water, but you can only do that when the stream is running low, and you get out in it, and as you go upstream fishing instead of downstream fishing. And I started fishing, and I just really had the right fly that day, and I was catching fish, and I caught 2 or 3 pretty good sized fish, but we already had fish at camp, so we just catch them and turn them loose. But I saw this big guy standing up in the river above me, and he was fishing the opposite way. And so as I walked up there and I got closer to him, and he walked down to me and he said, "What fly are you using? You seem to be having some good luck." And I looked at him, and it was Ted Williams. And he was kind of the Sears and Roebuck used his name, the Ted Williams sports line and so forth. So he was an avid fisherman, Ted Williams was. And I said, "Well, I'm not using a fly that you buy. It's my dad and I both tied flies, and we had tied flies that day, and this one was a particular pattern that it was what the fish were feeding on. The flies were hatching, and they'd fly in the air, and then they'd fall into the river and float down, and the fish would come up. You could see them come up and take this fly. So that's the reason why we was dry fly fishing. And Ted said, "Would you show me the pattern?" And I didn't tell him that you're my hero, And I grew up loving you, and I have a great love for patriotism because I was born on the 4th of July. So, and I lived, I was 12, 13, 14 or so during World War II, and so I just grew up loving the country and patriotism, but I loved him because he was a hero too. And then later during the Korean War, and I was in the National Guard then, and we were going to be sent to Korea, but Ted Williams, that's where he flew missions, in Korea. But I said, "Well, I don't have any more of those flies with me." And I said, if you want to walk over the trailer with me, we have some similar ones that we've tied up, and I'll give you some. But we walked over there and visited with him, but having a one-on-one conversation with Ted Williams, and I didn't make any big deal about it, other than that I told him I loved him as a ball player, and just made basic comment. I wasn't even smart enough to get his autograph or anything, but it just took me by surprise, and I was so thrilled. I don't know whether he ever caught any fish, but we told him how he had to do it, and we told him you had to treat your line before you start to fish, so the line and the fly would float right on the top, just like something falling in the water. And he was quite interested in it and so forth. So that was an experience as I ever had with a major league ball player of his caliber, and I really enjoyed it.
What year was this? Was that he was retired?
Yes, it was shortly after he retired.
So that's like 60 retired.
I was thinking, I can't remember the specific year because we went every year that way, and I didn't really remember the specific year, but I did know he had retired after that, yeah.